Hello, everyone. I'm back at the park, at a different park, under a different tree, but I'm still feeling some of the same vibes. All the thunderstorms of yesterday moved through pretty quick, and now there's just kind of this moody energy in the air. And I love coming and sitting in my car at the park and taking little moments to pause. In fact, one of the life hacks that I've found for myself is that I need transition time between big things. And if you're somebody who, like me, feels a lot of energy and experiences a lot of super senses, as I like to call them, it's really great to come back to myself for a moment in the midst of a busy day, especially if I'm moving between different appointments and things like that, and just sort of clear the field and return to my soul sound, to my inner core frequency, and line it up from my crown to the ground, as I like to say. And I also like to connect in with my third eye friends. A little pleasure pause. The pleasure of tuning into my senses and tuning into myself and just taking a minute to be right here, right now. You can join me if you want to. I have been really contemplating these retrogrades we've been in. Mercury retrograde is, it's behind us in the sense that it's gone direct. And Venus, being the planet of love, the energies of beauty and femininity, and I also think of it as life force and the creation of life, like the minute details of life, the beautiful things of life, some of my favorite things, but also relationships. And me being a Libra, both Libra and Taurus are ruled by Venus, and therefore those energies are a big part of our experience of life. So I have really, really been in a place of reflecting over these last weeks, since the beginning of March, about the relationships of my life, all of them. We have these different lanes of relationship, and sometimes they overlap too. You can have people in your life that sort of show up in different ways. Also, we're in relationship to everything around us. So my relationship with nature, with my work, my relationship with myself, there's a relationship really happening in all the places where we have patterns of interacting and engaging with people, places, things, energies. And I've been looking at all of those things and assessing what those patterns are. Especially, what are the patterns that are even unconscious within me, that I show up and I behave a certain way without even realizing it, and to take a look at it. I have quite a few mirrors in my house, and I would say I'm actually not that into spending time to get ready. I'm just very straightforward. I get ready real quick and head out the door. So it's not about looking at myself in the mirror to make sure my hair's just right. Basically it's this and we keep it moving, But the mirrors, I believe, are about self-reflection and the willingness to see ourselves. So when I go by the mirror, I pay less attention to what is it that I'm wearing and more attention to what's that look on my face? What does that one mean? What's happening in there, babe? And also to see how I'm showing up in the world. What's my posture? There's a lot to be said if my shoulders are slumped and I've got no kick in my step. So all of our relationships are mirroring to us something about us. And when something's not working in a relationship, even if we don't understand at the get-go what it is that we contributed, there's always a piece of who we are and how we show up that's contributing to it not working for us. And then we get to make decisions with what I'm exchanging here in this dynamic, am I enjoying this exchange? Where are the hiccups? And What would I need to change in order to experience something different? And sometimes that means walking away too. Sometimes we don't need to be engaged with that in such a close proximity. I mean, we are all so connected, and we will always be connected. We are one in a sense, but I often demonstrate this, that we can be one and still be individuals. So I've been really feeling into the relationship dynamics of my life, looking back, and then also thinking about where I want to go moving forward. And it feels like it has reached a bit of a climax, a bit of a completion point in me. And so now the work is to integrate. Now the work is to weave it into me and how I'm living my life, how I'm showing up, and how I want to be now, because we can reflect on the past. We can consider what we would like in the future, but really we create the most powerfully when we're in our heart center and we're in the present moment. So nothing like right now to do a little pleasure pause, a little meditative moment. So if you want to join me, if you want to be here in this moment, just taking a breath. That's where we can start. And I always just find that I like to situate a little bit. It does help to close my eyes, to take me to that stillness within me. Or sometimes it's not stillness, okay? Sometimes it is a busyness. But to check in. And if I close my eyes, well, turn off my ringer. If I close my eyes, I can shut out the external world just like that. I'm sorry if your eyes were already closed and that little ringer got you. So is life, right? So closing my eyes to let the outside world just soften, and being aware of myself, my individuality in this world, in this wild ride of being a human on the earth. Right now, I'm feeling my breath moving through my lungs, but knowing that it doesn't stop at my lungs. It goes into every edge of my body, moving the energy through my body in all the ways that my human physical self knows how to do without me thinking about it. Feeling the relationship that I have to myself, the care that I bring to myself. And then just as a moment of honoring the time of being in reflection of relationship in my life. Just sort of feeling all relationship around me like a sphere, an energetic sphere around me. And knowing that I am connected to all of the other humans on the planet in some way. And yet I get to be in my sovereign identity and choose how I want to experience relating to different people. The ability to create closeness or to take space. The knowing that it's not at any one point, one way or the other, but it is a continuum that's moving. And I can feel into the way that I relate to the world, almost like a rolling wave on the ocean. Moving, changing, yet still all a part of the water that makes up the ocean that goes all around the world. And I can even go in more microscopically and see that there are drops of water in the ocean. And I am like a drop of humanness on the earth. And feeling that I have a understanding of how I showed up in relationship in the past. And I have hopes and visions of how I might show up going forward. And in this moment, my knowing who I am and loving myself is one of the most powerful ways that I can show up to life and relationship from a place of this heart frequency and this love. I'm feeling a scanning of my own energy field happening. Almost imagining it like waving a wand through the field that's able to gather information. I'm seeing this as a iridescent purple and blue wand that's moving through my auric field and gathering information about my life experiences. It's almost like a collection of information that downloads into the Akash and becomes a part of the records of my life. And it's all being gathered up and then put into a book that's opening up in front of me. And I'm seeing this book in front of me. It's floating in front of me. And I'm able to turn the pages just by looking at the book and imagining how I want the pages to move. And I can flip backwards to any relationship of my life, and the book will open, and I'm able to read in that book the purpose of that relationship. I'm also able to experience the feelings that I had in that relationship. And I can experience the range of feelings, because often within relationships we have many experiences and many different feelings that are a part of the story of a particular relationship. And sometimes those feelings can change as the storyline moves and changes, and lessons come online, and heartache or frustrations can come online. And then even the point within that chapter of the book where the revelations come online. And I'm feeling my eyes drawn to that part of this book and this chapter. And I see sentences highlighted with gold letters. And they have a shimmering quality that stands out on the page as if they're magical letters. And I can see my finger tracing over the golden letters of the revelation. And I take that revelation into my knowing. And now I'm flipping to a new side of the page, moving the pages, flipping forward and finding another relationship story in my past. Seeing that person's face. Feeling the essence of the many emotions that moved through that relationship, the stories. And this is something that I can come to at any time that I want to understand outside of this now moment, but part of the eternal now moment. I can learn from these books of my life. And I can go to the gold letters and gather up the revelations and integrate them into my being. And I can also flip forward in this book, and I can see that there are so many relationships that are interconnected. And as I move forward into the timelines of my life, I can see future potential relationships. And I know that some of those I'll choose and some of those I'll pass, and that they're all there as possibilities. And I read through those lines and I see that there are gold letters wanting to form, but they're not fully formed yet. They are revelation potentials. And now I see this book closing and shrinking down into size to a tiny little book that I can put into my pocket. And this book seems to glow with a golden light, the light of revelation, the revelations that relationships give to our lives. And I feel grateful to carry these experiences with me. I am not just here on this planet alone. I'm here to experience life. I'm here to have the revelations that come from seeing myself in the mirror of others in front of me, to observe myself in my experiences with others. And I feel a great sense of gratitude, even as I can feel that in these relationships, there's often many complex emotions and experiences that happen. I can feel gratitude for the love of experience, the love of being human. And I'm just taking a few deep breaths and letting these knowings be a part of who I am. And I'm fluttering my eyelids open and coming back to this moment right now. Here we are. Here we are in a relational dynamic, even through a digital portal, just connecting to our stories that connect, because we are all so connected. It's amazing how just a few moments to pause and have a inner experience in the midst of a busy world can change us so much. And we can bring these experiences with us as we move through the day. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this life. I'm grateful to sit at this park and have a moment, the pleasure pause. And I'm sending you so much love wherever you are in the world. From my heart to yours. Mwah.